إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل كما جاء في محكم التنزيل. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Dear brothers and sisters, we always begin with praise and gratitude. Our Creator has given us life. Every single one of us was blessed and given our life, our love, our concerns, everything that we have that surrounds us is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah. Thumma alhamdulillah. And so that's the attitude that the believer has. It's not a selfish attitude. It's a selfless attitude. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so when we embrace that life, recognizing that all we are is a part of the mercy and compassion of Allah. That's what we are. So we have to be consciously working for that cause. And so that's what I came to talk about today. You see, the fundamental reality of Islam is how the Holy Quran begins. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God who is primarily known as compassionate and merciful. Right? That is the nature of the divine reality and the most important quality that He wanted us to know about Him. And that's why He keeps mentioning that in the beginning of the chapters. That's why He called His Prophet ﷺ to that as His primary calling. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And we have only sent you, Muhammad, for the purpose of being compassionate and caring for others. For anyone and everyone that you deal with. That is the core fundamental teaching of the divine reality and of the mission of the Prophet that he said is the best example for us to follow. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So that's our mission. That's our calling in life. We need to see which opportunities we can take to promote that divine reality. When he said, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, right after he said, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, it opened the people of Mecca's eyes beyond what they're comfortable with. See, the Meccan society and much of Arabia was a tribal society. To them, the alam was Mecca. That's it. What we have right here, that's our reality, our tribal family, what we have, that's what we're concerned with, that's what we know. And he said, Rabbil Alameen, Bil Jama'. All of the peoples and living beings in the world and worlds beyond. Right? So He is the Rabb. What is the Rabb? The creator, the provider, the maintainer, the sustainer, the one that takes care of and builds and gives everything that the others need. That is the Rabb. Right? That's why they called in the Arab colloquial, they said, the father is Rabbul Bayt. He's that provider and the caregiver, the one that takes care of everyone in the house. Right? So if that's who He is, then when He said, إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً, then that means we should be doing that to the best of our ability when we see the opportunity. Indeed, I will put on this earth a deputy, a vicegerent, one that will work for my cause and consciously be responsible for spreading my rububiyyah to the others with their capacity and their ability. Right? We're seeing some people calling themselves a khalifa and a khilafah now. They have totally, completely, clearly missed the point. With absolute certainty, that is not a caliphate. It is not a khalifa, because they are not doing what we see in the very basic tenets of the fundamentals of Surah Al-Fatiha. Right? So now we need to see, anytime we have an opportunity to make the world around us a better place, to show caring, love, and concern to those people around us. When people are less fortunate and are struggling, when we are blessed with so much like we are here in Tulsa, and we just take it for granted so easily. It's natural. It's not that we intentionally took things for granted, just we've been blessed. So the believer is consciously aware of all the blessings I take from God every day, and how I can give those blessings to others, right? كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس يعني لمصلحة وفائدة ونفع الناس, right? You were sent, you were made the best nation of all of mankind. Why? Because you are there working for the benefit of those around. خيركم أنفعكم للناس كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. The best among you are those who are most beneficial to those around you. So let's look at what the Quran did to the people of Arabia. The people are saying, you know, what is this Islam? Here's the best example to give them. Somebody says, what is Islam? What is Islam about? I'm watching on the news. Say, hold on. Can we please turn off the news for one moment and have a concerning discussion about truth and real beliefs and values as we see them? And then the person will say, if they're a reasonable person, which most people are, they'll say, okay, fine. Say, what happened was when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told the people of Mecca about the message was revealed to him from God to the angel Gabriel, okay, they rejected him, and they became very angry, and they called him names, and they attacked and abused and humiliated him and his followers for many years, okay? So on the 5th year of going through abuse and humiliation, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told them, the believers, he said, look, I know that there is an Ethiopian king who is a good Christian man. And I believe that if you go there seeking protection and comfort and dignity in your lifestyle, he will give you the right to be Muslim, and he will protect you from the evil that you're facing here. And so he sent a delegation of Muslims to the first migration, which was in the 5th year of prophethood, right? In the first third of the Prophet ﷺ's message. And so they went led by a man named Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. So when they got there, unfortunately the Quraysh have sent a group that are trying to have them released as prisoners. These people are criminals. You don't listen to anything they say, they're criminals. So the king said, Ja'far, what are you coming here for, and who are you? He said, نحن كنا قوما أهل جاهلية. We were, us believers that are coming to you, we were a people who were living in a state of immorality and ignorance. نعبد الأصنام. We used to worship statues that we thought were gods. وَنَأْكُلُ الْمَيْتَ. And we would eat a dead animal if we found it. وَنَأْتِ الْفَوَاحِشِ. And we used to do shameful, immoral deeds. وَنَقْطَعُ الْأَرْحَامِ. And we used to not keep good family relations between us. وَنُسِيءُ الْجِوَارِ. And we were not good to our neighbors. And we were harmful to our neighbors. And here's the point. وَيَأْكُلُ الْقَوِيُّ مِنَّا الضَّعِيفِ. And the strong people in our society exploited and took advantage of the weak people. And then, so that's how he described what was the people of Mecca before Islam. Right? That was their description according to Ja'far in the authentic hadith that we have just narrated. Then he said, until that all changed. That when we received a messenger who we knew his character, what we've talked about before. We knew his background. We knew how he was. And then he recited to us this revelation. And we knew it was from Allah. And so we followed him. And now we're the exact opposite, right, than what we were before. This is how Islam affects people when they take it seriously and they engage it and they embrace it. This is what it's supposed to do to us. Now the interesting thing is, this whole point that we're talking about, of the corruption of the people of Mecca before Islam, and how it was a very selfish lifestyle of engaging in immorality and taking advantage of the weak and so forth. Allah revealed a surah talking directly to them. Suratul Balad. Suratul Balad. He revealed to them a chapter called the land, the homeland, right? And so it says, لا أقسم بهذا البلد. Listen, whatever you've been thinking about, stop it. I swear by this village or town that you live in. وَأَنْتَ حِلٌّ بِهَذَا الْبَلَدِ. And you, Muhammad, have a right to be here in this place. وَوَالِدٍ وَمَا وَلَدٍ. Some of the scholars said, and the completion of the Abrahamic prophecy. Abraham, Ishmael, and now we have Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then he says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. For sure, we have created the human being for a work, for a process of a role to play. That is not easy, it is difficult. أَيَحْسَبُ أَنْ لَا يَقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ أَحَدٍ. Does the human being think that they will consciously make decisions which are corrupt and evil, and there will be no one to take account of them? Right? يَقُولُ أَهْلَكْتُ مَالًا لُبَدًا. The people say, oh, I've lost all my wealth. أَيَحْسَبُ أَنْ لَمْ يَرَهُ أَحَدٍ. Do these greedy, selfish people think that no one sees them in what they do? Then he says, أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْنِ وَلِسَانًا وَشَفَتَيْنِ. Haven't I given people eyes to see with and a mouth to speak with? Right? You should use those for good things. You should engage in goodness and bringing about good things that you see and appreciating good things. But if you see evil, you should speak up against it. You should not allow it. Right? Then he says, and here's where it's important. Here's the whole point. فَلَقَتَحَمَ الْعَقَبَةِ. The people of this town, as many of the scholars of Tafsir said, the people of Mecca have not engaged or embarked upon getting over that steep valley. Because he said, وَهَدَيْنَاهُمْ نَجْدَيْنِ. That we've guided people to consciously be aware of, this is the right path, this is good, and that is the wrong path, and that is evil. People are naturally inclined to it. Revelation makes it crystal clear. Right? And so he says, the people have not realized, he said, خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. It's a difficult path. It requires sacrifice and effort and selfless compassion. Don't be about yourself, be about caring for others. And when you do that, you will truly appreciate the true path, which is the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's what they were about. And so then he says, what will let you know? وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْعَقَبَةِ. What the steep path of the righteous good way, selfless compassion, do not be stingy. Rather, فَكُّ رَقَبَةِ. Slavery is no good. So start getting rid of these slaves. Free the people from slavery. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. Some will say, I heard Islam condoned slavery. Islam dealt with slavery, but clearly as we see in this ayah, Islam saw it as something that needs to be removed, like all of the other sicknesses of society. Oh, إِطْعَامٌ فِي يَوْمٍ ذِي مَسْغَبَةٍ. Or feeding people when you see that they're going through a state of hunger. يَتِيمًا ذَا مَقْرَبَةٍ. A orphan that's close to you. Oh, مِسْكِينًا ذَا مَقْرَبَةٍ. Or a poor person who's definitely dealing with the struggles of poverty. If you will be the self-sacrificing person and take care of all of these people who need, who are less fortunate than you. ثُمَّ كَانَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْمَرْحَمَةِ. If you do these things, if you embrace a life of selfless compassion and you care for others, then you are a true believer, and your lifestyle is about working with others to help people through difficulties in patience and steadfastness, and spreading merciful compassion to each other. That's the way of the believers. أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْمَيْمَنَةِ. These are the people who will embrace the bliss of heaven. Right? وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِنَا هُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْمَشْأَمَةِ عَلَيْهِمْ نَارٌ مُؤْصَدَةٌ. And those who would reject the clear signs, the ayat, those people are going to live in misery, and they will have the hellfire surround them. What does he mean by ayat? He means this surah, what he's telling you. Whoever would reject, recognizing, as I said in the beginning, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, that it was with God that all His mercy and compassion brought me into existence. And I'm surrounded and I soak up every day so many favors from Him. So wherever I live, if I'm going to be the righteous person on the right path, I must be willing to sacrifice my comfort so that other people can have comfort. This is what the surah's story is all about. Remove the ills of poverty and slavery and corruption and the struggles that people go through by being the solution in spreading patience, steadfastness, compassion, and mercy. This is the calling that we find ourselves in as believers. And this is the fundamentals of Islam. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. As we see in Surah Al-Balad, that Islam is about mercy, compassion, helping people towards ease and comfort. بَشِّرُوا وَلَا تُنَفِّرُوا يَسِّرُوا وَلَا تُعَسِّرُوا. Right? The Prophet ﷺ said, make people see the glad tidings. Give them hope. Don't make people see things as harsh and difficult. Make things easy on them. Islam is about compassion to everyone. One person asked me, he said, are we allowed to give charity to non-Muslims? I said, of course we are allowed to. We are highly recommended to, if not obligated to. If you read Surah Al-Balad, you will not see that it says, فَكُّ رَقَبَ مُسْلِمِينَ فَقَطْ or إِطْعَامٌ الْمُسْلِمِينَ فَقَطْ. You didn't see that. You saw it come as a general thing. The confusion people are getting is, unfortunately, these Quraysh kept abusing and humiliating and attacking the Muslims. And unfortunately, the neighboring Jewish tribes were not honoring the treaties the Prophet engaged with them in. And then the Byzantine Empire and the Persian neighbors looked to destroy and kill the Muslims and attack them. So there are verses talking about people who are enemies to us. Clearly, those people do not deserve anything from us, and everyone else does. Right? So, as Muslims, we need to always look for any opportunity to make people comfortable, to make people feel like we're taking care of their needs. It starts with our family, with our neighbors. If we find that our neighbor needs something, go give them some food. Cut their grass if they need it. You know? If you see some lady struggling to get her groceries in the car, stop. Go do that. Help them out. You see somebody on the corner, go pick them up, take them, get them a burger, say here. And then let them know. If they say, they will say to you, in all these circumstances, well, that's so nice of you, I thank you so much. Here's your answer. As a Muslim, this is my duty. Why is that? Are you like trying to, take one up over on? No, you're just following the Quran. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِّمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Who is better in speech than the one who calls to Allah, while working righteousness. See, the ayah is telling us the best way to call to Allah is not to get into some theological debate, is to be the Quran walking in front of people, talk with people according to Quranic values. Make that your guiding force. And then when you do those righteous deeds, let people know why you're doing it and who you are. I'm a Muslim. That's why I do what I do. And people will appreciate that. As Muslims, we should feel the pain of anybody struggling all over the world. When we look at the disaster of Syria, of Palestine, of Africa, of Myanmar, all over the world, Muslim and non-Muslim, we should feel a pain. We should feel that there's something that we should do. And we should always do that. Some of our scholars indicated that when you're giving, it is best to make sure that you take care of those closest to you. They were making the tafsir of the famous ayah of Ihsan. وَبِذِي الْقُرْبَى. It is a وَالْجَارِ الْجُنُبِ وَالصَّاحِبِ بِالْجَنْبِ. It's best to make sure you take care of those closest to you. And as Muslims, people need to see who we are in this country. People need to see what we're about. See these fundamentals coming from our words and our deeds and so forth. So right now, there's a big flood that happened in Louisiana. People are struggling. Their house has been flooded out. Some of them, the flood has gone up to 40 inches. We are not in a capacity to help all of the people of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But as Muslims, we have a connection with the mosque there. We have some people who will leave here today to go help logistically. And they want to take with them from the Tulsa community a check to the mosque there to help them out. There are 55 Muslim families whose home has been destroyed and they're struggling with very unfortunate circumstances. Unfortunately in Baton Rouge, there's no flood insurance helping them. And as we know, the government can take a long time. And so it is our duty as believers that while we take care of our own bills here with our families and our mosque, we add to that a generous help towards the victims of this flood over there. So inshallah, we will have some brothers and some sisters with some boxes that have a pink thing. It says Louisiana flood victims. The brother's gonna have all that counted up, and the mosque will issue a check to the mosque, and then he will take that down there and deliver it by hand to the people over there. We have some Muslim organizations, charitable organizations there helping, but this is just the good heart of the Tulsa Muslim community looking to be a means of comfort and ease to people who are going through something that we can't imagine while we live very comfortable in our situation. So we ask Allah, Ya Allah, please motivate our hearts to be your mercy and your compassion to the world around us. Ya Allah, please let Islam be known for its fundamental teachings. Ya Allah, please do not let Islam be known for corrupt, misguided people. Ya Allah, please guide us to embrace the Holy Quran and the example of the Prophet ﷺ. Please let us shine the light that comes from the guidance that you have blessed us with. Ya Allah, please help this Muslim community of Tulsa grow and develop and help themselves and others around. Ya Allah, please make us a people who embrace spiritual development and selfless compassion. Ya Allah, forgive us for any laziness, for any sins, for the weaknesses in our hearts and minds, and us engaging in something that is not pleasing to you. Ya Allah, please make us be people who earn your contentment by working the selfless compassion in the achieving the steep road and getting over it in your way of Jannah as you have promised us. Ya Allah, send your peace and blessings and mercy upon your final messenger Muhammad and all of those who follow him and all of his family and those who are close to him.